Today we will be focusing on Luke chapter 6. The chunk of verses I want to focus on is verses 27 to 36. It talks about loving your enemies. Jesus starts off by saying, "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you." If we take a look at Leviticus chapter 19 verses 18, it says, "You shall not take vengeance, nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." Continuing in verse 29 of Luke chapter 6, it says, "To him who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back." But in verse 35, it says something very intriguing. It says, "But love your enemies, do good, and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great. And you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful." Jesus came back to earth to set an example for us to follow today. In verses 27 to 36, Jesus shows the example of loving our enemies. Us as sinful human beings find it very hard to love our enemies. In verses 31 to 34, it lays out how easy it is for us to love those who love us. But in 35, it says just how hard it is to love our enemies. If we take a look at Mark chapter 12, verses 30 and 31, it says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength." We all know that is the first and greatest commandment. But if we take a look at verse 31, it says, "The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these." Jesus specifically told us to love our neighbor as ourselves. If we love those who love us, as it says, what good is that going to do to us? Loving our enemies shows God through us. It shows the true character of what Jesus came to show. So as we can see within those verses 27 and 36 of Luke chapter 6, Jesus came back to set an example to love our enemies. We should follow that example and show the love of Christ to those around us.